Hi and welcome back to yet another episode of the series where I show you how much money do we spend in a month in Algarve, Portugal. And this is going to be the last of the series, at least for now, because the month of May was the last month that we spent in Portugal so far. So a little update, if you don't know and if you are new here, I'm Luisa, and on this channel we are talking about everything about Portugal, especially Algarve, because this is the area where we bought an apartment. Also we talk about the property prices because it's a little hobby of mine, and if you want to know more information, please check out the description. So now we are back in Romania, in Bucharest, our hometown. And if you want to know what we have been doing in this last week since we were here, the first thing we made when we arrived, we made a vaccine, the first shot. We are now waiting for the second shot. We try to make a little upgrade on our wardrobe, on our home, just to fresh things up. And it's been only a week and we try to adjust again to the life here in Bucharest. So let's start to talk about the expenses of the month of May. And this month was particularly expensive because we spent 3 days in Lisbon and we have accommodation and a lot of food. Also, we have 2 vlogs from Lisbon, and if you didn't see that, go check them out because they contain a lot of food, and also a trip to the Money Museum, which was very interesting. I loved to be again in a museum. So the museum was free, but the food and going around Lisbon was not expensive because I found prices in Lisbon to be way low than Algarve. So it wasn't expensive for us, but it quite add up. So we have this priced in, and of course taxi, the train, and a lot of bunch of expenses that we don't have when we were staying in Algarve, just staying put there. So let's start with the expenses of the house. I feel like I know them by heart by now. I made like 5 videos repeating that. So we have Laser Telecom. Laser is the company where we get our internet, and we have a fixed fee that we pay to them on a monthly basis, and this is 60 euros. Also we have Infralobo. Infralobo is the firm that supplies us with water and also is in charge of the maintenance of the resort, of the public part of the resort, like roads, illumination, grass, flowers, and so on and so forth. And we pay to them kind of a fixed fee. It depends on how much water we consume, and in the month of May we paid 60 euros. Also EDP, which is the electricity company, we paid 95 euros. I don't think this is a lot because even if outside the weather was fine and everything was starting to warm up, in the house it's not so warm, so I still have my electric blanket not during the night, not the electric blanket that I was using to sleep with, but the electric blanket that I was using to stay at the TV, and I had that pretty much during the day. So I don't know what is with the houses in Algarve. I think in all Portugal they are very cold inside, even if outside is like 50 degrees. In the house it's still very wet and very cold because the walls didn't have the time to warm up. So when they will do warm up in like June and July, the house will be uninhabitable if you don't have air conditioning. At least this is my opinion, this is how I feel. So I don't feel we spend a lot on electricity because we had the washing machine going on a daily basis. We have this electric blanket, we have 2 laptops. We didn't actually use much of the air conditioning, but still. So this is 95 euros. Also, in the month of May, in the last day actually, because we have these payments on auto. We have direct debit with IMI, with fiscal administration, and the 31 of May was the first date when you have to pay your first rate of IMI. If you don't know what IMI is that tax that you pay on property on annual basis. So our IMI is split in 3 parts, 3 days, 3 rates that we have to pay, and we pay in total like 500 euros per year for the house. The house has like 120 square meters, and it has 3 rooms, 2 bedrooms, 1 room, 2 bathrooms, 1 kitchen. So yes, this IMI is calculated based on the location of the house. Of course, the square meters counts, but also the location. And because we are in the most touristy area possible, apart from Lisbon and Cascais, I think Algarve is the most expensive area in Portugal. So this is why we pay so much money. If you compare it to, I had a subscribers telling me that other people that were buying on Silver Coast, they are paying insanely less than us who are living in Algarve, and in Lule, which is a very expensive concelho, they were paying like 100 euros or 200 euros a year, and we are paying 500 euros. So this is much. So we have split this bill of 500 euros, actually not us, the fiscal administration, split that in 3 parts, and May was the first month in the year when we have to pay, and we paid 171 euros. I think the next payment, I don't want to misinform you or something, I know that a payment is due in September, but I don't know about the other one. Also, we pay car rental, and we paid a lot because May is considered a month where the tourists start to come in, and the people who rented the car, rent auto, they charge us 300 euros for, no, 217, something like that, for the first 3 weeks, and 100 and something for 5 days, for the last 5 days of May. And the price just increases exponentially just because you get closer to the touristy season, which was one of the reasons we decided to go and not spend the summer in Portugal, because it's very expensive. And I also have a video about why we decided, all the reasons why we decided to spend the summer in Bucharest. I will link it here, and please go check it out because I think it's interesting. So we paid in total for the car 410 euros, a lot. We negotiated a little bit with them because we are clients for a long time, and they were reasonable. I mean, they were very nice to give us this price because the initial quotation was sky high. Then in the last week we went to Lisbon, and we paid, as you know if you watch the vlogs from Lisbon, we pay on a train 38. We went on Alfa Pendular, and we were fortunate enough to get the tickets with 1 week in advance. So we paid only 38 euros for 2 tickets, first class. It was an amazing journey. I didn't even feel it. It lasted 3 hours, and it was just amazing. I love that train. And I encourage you, if you travel by train in Portugal, and if you have the chance and the route is right, because Alfa Pendular doesn't run on all routes, to absolutely choose an Alfa Pendular over the other trains, because it absolutely makes a difference. Also, we spent on Airbnb in Lisbon. We stayed 2 full nights and 1 very late checkout, and we spent 219 euros, which the owner was very nice not to charge us the full amount for the 3rd night, only 25 euros, which is very, very nice, because practically he lost a night because we were there until like 8 p.m. We had a very late checkout. We knew that we are going to fly all night and we absolutely wanted to be able to remain in the apartment and rest until the last minute. So we paid only 25 euros, which was perfect, very nice owner. Now we are getting around to the biggest expense of our budget. You would think that this would be the mortgage, but in our case this is not the case. So the most money we spend on food, and whether it is food from supermarket, remember the first videos that I did in January and February, whether it's food from supermarket or whether we are going out to eat in the city at the restaurants, we managed to spend an enormous amount of money on food because we like to eat. Sometimes I feel like we live only to eat and to experiment different restaurants and flavors. And yes, the majority of our money goes into that, into the food and into the experience we have at different restaurants. And we are not spending more if we go out to eat. Sometimes we spend less than if we buy the food from the supermarkets, because I guess we are not very experimented with the supermarkets, because back home, I mean here in Bucharest where we are now, we buy from the supermarkets only the mineral water and the fruits and vegetables, and the rest of the food is just takeout and going out to eat, because the food in Romania is insanely cheap comparing to any other country. Maybe just if you compare it to Greece, it's comparable, and in Greece the quality is slightly a little better and the aromas and flavors are better than in Romania, but the prices are kind of the same. So we spend on food from the supermarket for the 3 weeks and a half from the month of May, which we spend in Algarve. We spend 261 euros. But wait a minute, we spend that little on the food in supermarket because we spend an insanely amount of money on the food from the restaurant. Basically 3 or 4 days out of the 7 days we were going out to eat. So yeah, we spent on takeout, it wasn't takeout, it was restaurants, 819 euros, like 900 euros on food, on restaurants. And yes, you have to take into consideration the fact that we are living in a very expensive area and the prices there are sky high. We pay like 60 or 70 euros on a regular basis for a meal where you don't eat very much. I mean, it's not a meal with 5 or 6 courses, it's just some petiscos, some main food for each of us, and yes, it includes wine or cocktail, coffees, and of course mineral water, which is very expensive here in Portugal. Then we went to Lisbon, and there also we spent an enormous amount of money on food. We spent like 360 euros because we wanted to go out, we wanted to visit different things, we wanted to try different things. There are things that I didn't put in the vlogs because I was too tired to film. So it was not only the food that you saw in the videos, it was much more. Yes, we ate much more than that. People already told us, oh my god, there is insanely amount of food, but it was actually much more than that. Every food and everything that we did in Lisbon, it was 360 euros. Also, we paid on Ubers from the train station to the apartment, and then from the apartment to the airport, 20 euros, so 10 euros each trip. It was kind of cheap, but then again, the airport is very close to the town, but nevertheless, it was cheap, 20 euros, 10 euros for each trip. We didn't spend any money on cleaning the house. We left the house dirty because we knew that the company that is in charge of renting the apartment is going to clean the house before renting, so it was no need to clean it twice. So we didn't spend any money on that. We did spend money on gas because we had to take the car to rent auto with the same amount of gas that they gave us. So we spent 26 euros on gas just to give them the same amount of gas back. If you add up all these insane and crazy expenses, you get to the total of 2,767 euros. And for the one interested, we always add up the money that we pay to the bank. We don't pay rent, we pay a mortgage, and the monthly mortgage rate is 500 euros. This rate includes the principal, the interest, and also the insurance of the house. We don't have a separate insurance. We have an insurance that the bank made us do it, and it's like 16 euros per month, and this is included in this 500 euros. And if you add up these 500 euros to the other expenses, we spend in total in the month of May the insane amount of 3,267 euros. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot for us, but we wanted to explore Lisbon, we wanted to stay in Lisbon, we wanted to have a direct connection and flight home. I don't know, leave it in the comments. What do you think, taking into consideration everything that we did, if this is an insanely amount of money? But again, I do this video to show you that it quite adds up to live in Algarve. The majority of the money, like 900 euros out of this, were spent on restaurants. Of course, we knew that this is going to be our last month in Algarve and we just wanted to splurge on everything, and yeah, I guess we did. Don't forget to subscribe and leave it in the comments, maybe if you were interested in these videos but with the expenses in Romania. I don't know what to say because this channel is all about Portugal and I wanted to remain like this, but I'm also at your request going to do a few videos about Romania and Bucharest, not Romania in general, just Bucharest, because we are not planning any trips in Romania. Here the roads are horror. And yeah, I don't know, maybe you are going to see the prices when we go out to eat, so maybe this would be enough. The whole point of making a separate video, I don't know. Just I'm going to leave you now and I will see you in my next video. Bye!